Good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're gonna practice it. I hope it's a good one. I also hope you can hear me. I think today we'll begin just an easy pose. So this can be on your back. You can sit cross-legged. Just find a comfortable seat. And we're going to begin by grounding ourselves with our breath. So together we'll take 5 deep breath cycles. But before we begin, I just want to give some extra time to get comfy. Maybe finding a nice gentle lift in the chest. Maybe slightly pulling the shoulders down, but not yanking or pulling. And as you find yourself in a nice, comfortable seat, we'll begin. Inhale. Exhale at your own pace. Maybe with each breath you find deeper connection with the longer inhale and longer exhale. Maybe on your next inhale, you transition with me into tabletop on all fours. Or maybe you stay in that pose, whatever feels good for you today. I'm gonna go into tabletop and do 5 rounds of cat-cow. So we begin by stacking the arms underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. And when we inhale, we curve or arch, Oh, got a buggy. Arch the back as you open through the chest, lift your head up to the sky, and then you exhale, curving the back, letting the head be the last thing that comes down as you lift up through the wrists. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, curve. 3 more times if you're with me. Really syncing up the movement with your breath. And then if you're with me on your next inhale, you can return to tabletop, or if cat-cow feels good, maybe you keep on going. I'm gonna end our walk. Next, I'm going to do some lunges, and you can join me like I said. You can stay in cat-cow if that spinal flexion feels good. Or feel free to disobey me completely and do some other stretch or pose that you feel called to do today. If you're gonna join me in lunge, I'll go ahead and cue that. So, normally we would come in through tabletop, so I'll actually do that instead of, I'm gonna model the behavior I want. So we begin in tabletop, and we'll take the right knee up and into the arms, making sure We stack the knee right over the ankle. You can also use blocks to prop yourself up. And then from here, if it feels good, you can actually slide that left knee a little bit back to get a nice deep stretch in the psoas, which is a muscle that is from the front of the hip all the way to the back. Sometimes when we think we have lower back issues, it's actually we need to stretch out the psoas. So I've come up. You can stay here. You can stay up on the block too to help yourself have that open chest. But I'm going to go ahead and loop my shoulders back and really deepen the stretch as I inhale. Exhale, maybe you sink a little bit deeper. Here for 3 more. Maybe as you exhale, you tug the right hip back and kind of find a push with the left hip. Making sure we're not crashing into our hips. Exhale, plant the palms. Back to tabletop. Nice and slow. If you're with me, we'll go ahead and do the next side. Bringing the left leg in between our arms. Stacking the knee over the foot. Maybe if you want a deeper stretch in the right psoas, you go ahead and slide your right leg a little bit back. All right, and you can stay here like I said, or you can inhale and lift. Maybe placing the hands on the hips or at your side. The hips will stabilize you a little bit more. So you inhale, lift up, exhale, maybe bringing that left hip crease a little bit further back and pushing or not pushing, but gently bringing the right hip forward. Here for 2 more. Inhale and exhale, plant the palms. From here, we'll actually lift the right leg up and come up to a forward fold. Right foot reaches to meet the left. As you bend your knees, maybe you want to move your feet hip width apart, maybe a little bit deeper. You can also have them up next close to each other. I think I'm gonna do hip width distance, maybe a little bit more. As I bend nice and deep. Maybe you swing as you inhale and exhale, side to side. You can also clasp your elbows to kind of ground you. Or you can just have them out, ragdoll. I'm gonna slowly inhale side to side, really feeling the stretch along the long and short, compressed sides of my body. Wherever you are, we're here for 5 more breaths. So really bend them knees and sink into your forward fold. If you're not already still, I invite you to find some stillness, or again, you can keep on moving if you feel so called. But I will invite you to find some stillness for 3 breaths. Maybe letting the head be tucked in so you feel a deeper stretch along the upper spine. Next, I'll invite you to inhale, halfway lift. Straightening through the legs, having a slight bend in the knees though, and straightening through the back. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale and roll it up slowly, slow, slow, slow. Really feeling each vertebra, each bone being stacked up slowly, and let your head be the last thing that comes up. Going really slow. We do not want to rush coming up because you could get a headache or really get the spins. From here, we'll give our best, most beautiful mountain pose. So in mountain pose, we have the feet firmly planted. You can have them together, hip width distance apart or bigger. We're gonna lift up through the spine, lifting our chin up and bring the head back a little bit. So we have this really, really nice head over heart over hip connection. Maybe we roll the shoulders a little bit back, inviting a deeper stretch in the chest. And you can have your arms out or together, prayer pose. And as we sit here or stand here for 5 long, deep, beautiful breaths, think about what's happening in your body. How do you feel today? Maybe you set an intention for today. Or maybe you just sit and notice how it feels. Even though this is a stationary pose, there's a lot of things that go with it. So I'll invite you to really just sit with yourself for these 5 breath cycles. Notice if you've already started curling forward, and bring it back up nice and lifted and open for the last 2 breath cycles. I invite you to slowly blink open the eyes. Maybe you wriggle your fingers, your toes, slowly bringing awareness back into your body. And we're gonna stop here, but if you feel called to, you can end this with a meditation. However you feel called. Maybe you take Savasana, corpse pose on the floor for a little bit and just sit with yourself. Wherever you decide to end this, I hope whatever you learned today on the mat, whatever emotions, whatever lessons came up, I hope you can take those lessons, the peace, the joy, the relaxation you've cultivated in this flow, and take it with you wherever you go for the rest of the day. A lot of people in America tend to think that yoga is just about the physical poses, and it's actually just one part. It's really about changing how we look at our entire lives. With that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.